Hey guys, my name is Kindra Moné and welcome to the couch. So you might notice that my mom is not here. Normally I film the couch in my parents' home where we've done some couch lives in South Carolina, but today I'm bringing you the couch from Kindra's couch, which is in my Harlem apartment. And when we do Kindra's couch, I'll be talking a bit more things that are more personal to my life or things that my friends are going through versus the couch with my mom. We talk a bit more cross-generational things from a faith perspective, okay? So let's get straight into it. Today, I am bringing you the type of men that you should stop dating. Single ladies, please hear me out. These are 6 men that you no longer need to give the time of day. When you make up your mind that you are no longer dating the type of men that I have on this list for you, you are going to actually find that you're going to stop being attracted to them, and you're going to start to attract better men. But first you have to change your mentality, and you've got to be able to sift through the nonsense, okay? Men have all these types of women that they say that they won't date, and we give them the leniency to do that. But how often as women do you find yourself dating sort of whatever kind of handsome individual that shows interest in you? Like, why is that the case? No, we are taking control over our dating lives, and we are starting by not dating these type of men anymore. So, man number 1 that you don't date. We are no longer dating men that are not actively looking to settle down. This seems like a given, right? But no, women, you do it all the time. You date the guy that, oh, he's not looking for anything serious, we're just kicking it. Like, no, if he's not looking for anything serious and that's where you are, be unapologetic about that. Like, ask these questions early on, and it's totally fine. And that way you're asking them before you're asking them directly about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, date 2 or even date 1 or a phone conversation is a great time to say, like, so where are you in life right now? Like, are you looking for someone that could be your future wife? Are you just dating and chilling? Are you seeing what happens? Like, it's really good to get a grip on a man's mindset before you become emotionally and romantically involved. He might not even be someone that's interested in marriage in the future at all. It's very good for you to know that before you've been dating this person for 6 months to a year, and now you're in love, and then you realize that commitment isn't even on their horizon, okay? So you don't be afraid to ask these questions to figure out if this is a guy that wants to settle down or if it's someone that's just looking to have fun. And don't fool yourself. If you meet a guy and you are attracted to him and y'all are getting along, and then he tells you, I'm not looking for anything serious, or I see that you're just a friend, honey, don't play yourself. Do not continue down that road. If you know that you are somebody's wife in waiting, then don't date someone who doesn't match up to that. And so the key in order to not date the man that's not looking to settle down is to understand that you are the prize, okay? You're gonna have to build yourself up and also build a life that is interesting and that is full of people and full of things that you love to do. And that way you won't be so attached to someone that doesn't want the same things that you want. You will be totally okay to walk away from a man who's not ready to settle down when you know that you're a prize, when you know that there are actually plenty of men out there that are willing and ready to settle down, and when you know that you're walking away to a life that is full of people you love, full of things that you love, and that is just really quite fine and frankly good without that man. All right, number 2. The man that you shouldn't date is the man that does not share your values. How often, does anybody watch The Bachelor? Like, I feel like none of my friends watch The Bachelor, but a prime example of this was that there was a girl on The Bachelor who was waiting till marriage, who was she was a Christian woman, and Peter, the Bachelor, he was kind of spiritual. He wasn't really that about that life, right? But they had chemistry, and they had a connection. They got along really well outside of their values. Later on, once things got serious, she wanted to add her values in there, and they realized that it just didn't work out. At the end of the show, right when it's time to get serious, she now wants to throw in her standards, and she's now holding him to expectations that she never set in the beginning. Do you see where I'm going here? If you lead with your values, then you know from the jump if you're not compatible. But first, you have to get settled with your values and confident in your values for yourself. Another example, I have a friend of mine, if she's watching, sorry girl, but this is a great example. I have a friend of mine who's Jewish, and she wants to raise her children Jewish. And so I asked her, oh, that means you're only dating Jewish guys? And she's like, no. Huh? What? If you want to raise your children Jewish, then you need to be dating a Jewish man, or at least a man that's willing to convert, or a man that at least is willing to raise your children Jewish. I mean, you're obviously on a first date not figuring out if you're going to have kids with someone, but you should know pretty soon if you're wasting your time. I personally have a value of Christianity, and that plays out for me in the local church. The local church is very important to me. I grew up seeing women who went to my church that I thought were single because their husband stayed at home and didn't go to church with them. And I was like, I never want to look like I'm single at church. One, because to me, worshiping together is a form of intimacy. And also, I think that leaves a vulnerable area in your marriage. If there's this whole thing that's important to me and that's major in my life, but my husband or my boyfriend, my future spouse isn't involved in it, then it's leaving a gap where I could maybe meet someone who does have this, and I feel like I'm missing something. Like, it's just a safety for me to make sure that my values align. And I made the mistake in the past by dating someone who was a really great guy. His moral values were really all there. And I wasn't as strong in my own values, but I knew I would get there. So it didn't really bother me at first that he didn't value the local church or church attendance, or his walk with Christ, like, wasn't a priority to him. And I thought that we could work. But I quickly found out, actually not quick enough, because I think I found out after about 8 months of dating, I started to go to church more. I started to become more serious about my values. And I realized that he wasn't growing in that same way. And when I finally sat down and asked the question, how important is this to you? He couldn't really answer me. He couldn't really tell me that it was as important to him as it is to me. And so I knew that it wasn't going to work. It doesn't mean that someone's spiritual walk or the way that they express their values may look exactly the same as you. Like, you have to live and have a place of non-judgment and you're not responsible for your boyfriend or your husband's relationship with God or whatever your values are, but you need to be able to see that they have that value for themselves. So lead with your values. Don't throw them in later. You're setting yourself up for heartbreak. And honestly, people end up usually getting divorced over values that they knew from the beginning. This is a value or something that was important to them from the jump, and they kept hoping that it would get better, and then 10 years down the road, they're divorced. So you have to really have someone who has values that if they never changed, would you be okay with it? We all want to grow. We all want to get better. But what if this person never changed? Would you be okay with them? If not, not for you. Number 3, we're not dating the guy that all of your friends and family warned you about, okay? Like, they don't have to love him and be super excited about, like, being his BFF, but they should approve of him. The people in your family, they love you. They want the best for you. If everybody in your life hates your spouse or your boyfriend, and pause, this is not because you bash them. If you bash them and you paint a bad picture to them and told them things that you knew you would forgive them for, but they wouldn't forgive them for, that's your fault. And you're gonna have to work that out, because sometimes you get a situation where you have a great 8 months with your boyfriend, and then month 9 is rough, and you know it's gonna get better, but you just never told them about the great 8, and then you vent about the bad 9th month, and then you've created a bad image for your family. So that's another obstacle to overcome. I'm not really talking about that, but I'm saying when everybody in your life sees you together, they don't like it. They see you together, it doesn't seem right to them. I don't believe that your friends and family, the people that love you the most and know you the best, want you to be unhappy. They're probably trying to protect you. So the key to overcome that is to understand that there is no scarcity, okay? Like, there is no shortage of bachelor eligible men out there. There's no need to hold on to someone. If it doesn't work, if you can't involve this person into your life, they're going to start to separate you from the people you love. If your mom and your dad and your friends don't like this person, you'll find yourself in solitude with them, and that will slowly separate you from your livelihood, from your relationship. Shouldn't complete you, it should complement you. And so you should be able to have a full life outside of that. And when your friends and family aren't with it, the chances of that go way down. Number 4, we are not dating the image obsessed, social life obsessed guy. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with being social. There's nothing wrong with presenting yourself to the world in a particular way and wanting a partner that can go well with you. But we don't want a guy that's looking for a trophy. Okay, he will never see you for who you are. You will always be striving to fit into the mold of what he thinks you should be if you are attracted to a image and social life obsessed guy. Who are these guys? These are the guys that we left the nice guys in college for this guy. Okay, this was the guy who could get you into the party for free. This is the guy who knows all the bartenders at the bar. He's living that social life, and he probably prioritizes his social life and his public image more than he prioritizes what's going on in here. Okay, I believe that when you're ready to be in a relationship, it doesn't mean that your social life and your public reputation all just disappear, but it shouldn't be more important to you than your relationship. Like, if he can't post you because his Instagram is only about his business, sis. Now, I'm not saying that we should make everything about posting on social media. That's just an example. Or if, you need to fit into his brand, honey, he will never see you. The right man, your lives will blend together like this without a whole bunch of friction around it, and you won't feel like you have to fit a mold. Okay, so the key to this is to you have to see through the glitter. Okay, you can't date someone that you have on a pedestal, that has themselves on a pedestal, that thinks that they're just this gift to life. Okay, you have to see through the glitter, see through his title, see through all these things. This man might even be a minister. Okay, and so you're all glamorized with the fact that he's a minister. But if he has a cookie cutter image of who's going to be set next to him, already set, that's fine if you're a woman that doesn't have your own opinions, your own desires, your own beliefs. But a man who is so focused on his image has a cookie cutter of what his future wife is going to be. And if you don't exactly fit into that mode, you will find yourself chipping away at yourself until you do. Woo, that's the word. Moving forward, number 5, the liar. Honey, we are not dating the liar anymore. And that may sound obvious, but raise your hand if you dated a liar. Okay, we've all dated liars before, and we made excuses for their behavior. We made excuses based off the connection that we had with them. Oh, I love him. Oh, nobody knows him like I do. I forgive him, but he's lied to you over and over again. Red flag. You have to have a standard for yourself and a standard for the people that are going to be in your life. Like, you cannot be dating these liars and keep making an excuse for it. I'll give you an example. I was involved with someone from high school on and off through college, even post-college. So like a total of about like 7 or 8 years. And this is someone who really always let me down in crunch time. Like, we were really good when things were chill, but when it came time for this person to be needed, he let me down. And a big consistency through this whole time was lies, that I would catch him in a lie. And I was always like, oh, I'm so chill. There's no reason to lie to me. Why would you lie? One, we don't have to be the chill girl, and that is probably going to be another video. But no, we're not accepting people that lie to us. And the final strike of me actually letting this person go from my intimate circle was that he lied to me at a place where I finally was confident in myself. I finally was built up in myself, and to the point that my life was I was pouring into my own life so much that I was like, I'm not going to accept this into my life. When I've worked so hard on my relationship with God, when I've worked so hard on my self-esteem, I've worked so hard to make sure that I'm in a good place, why would I allow someone to come into my life and lie to me constantly, okay? The key to this is to have a standard for what you will allow in your life. And I'm telling you, honey, once you get that standard for your life, you're not going to accept someone that is constantly lying to you. That is at a disregard for you, and that is disrespectful to you to continue to date someone that lies. And finally, the guy that we're not going to date is the guy that you're not that into, or also known as the good for now guy. So there are actually two different guys, but we'll bring them together. So one, the guy that you're not that into, okay? I've listened to a lot of Christian women content, and I have heard so many women say, oh, you know, I'm not super attracted to him, but he loves God and he's a good guy, and we've always been good friends, and now he told me that he thinks I'm his wife. Am I his husband? Sis, God is not bringing your husband to you in the form of someone that you're not attracted to. You may not be attracted to them immediately. It may not be someone that you initially thought of that way, but you're gonna be into it. You want a relationship that is full of passion, okay? Not settling. You don't want to be with someone just because they want you. One of the things I tell one of my mentees is that, like, she's always telling me, and yes, you're probably watching, hey girl, she's always telling me, oh, well, we got together because I didn't know he liked me like that, but then he told me that he liked me, and I was like, really? And he likes me so much. You know, she's a bit younger, but like, someone liking you is the bare minimum. That is no reason to enter into a relationship with them because they like you. What do you like about them? Okay, you need to be equally excited about someone else. Granted, you do want someone that's very into you, but you need to be able to reciprocate that and feel that, or you will find yourself one day in a situation where you are very unfulfilled, and that is a dangerous place to be. And then also, we're not dating that guy that's just good for now, because sometimes that life comes at you fast, and you'll realize, like, oh, this guy's just good for now, and next thing you know, oh, there's a kid involved, and now I guess we should get married, or oh, we're living together, and things really just spiral, and you realize that you never intended to build a life with this person. When you're settling for someone that's just good for now, you are either blocking who you're long-term from even being able to see you, or you risk yourself settling long-term, and it's also not fair to him. You don't want someone dating you because they think that you're good for now. So let's do these guys a courtesy and not date them when we don't see something that's in them long-term or serious. So that is my spiel on the 6 guys that we should no longer date. Definitely let me know what you think. Please subscribe to this channel. And also, I want to leave you guys with the note that dating should be fun, okay? I know that it's scary sometimes, but if you remember that you are a woman of substance, build up your life to the point that you're proud to show it off. You're proud to introduce someone into your life. And one of my favorite things while dating that I say is, God, I give you my heart, and that way no one else can break it because it is in your hands, okay? We might face disappointment along the way, but every guy that gets out the way, honestly, you're just closer to the one that's actually for you. So let's date with open minds and open hearts, but most importantly, with standards, okay? We are not dating these 6 men that were on this list anymore because we are ready to level up our lives, okay? Comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time on Kindra's Couch.